that I did in 2015-16, the race last year, because that was probably the best team they've ever had.
Would you take that team over the 2012 team that made it to the finals?
Yeah, because they're more experienced.
That's true.
I think you had some circumstances that sucked for that team because Kevin was in his free agency year, and I think that he had a lot on his mind in terms of that. That was difficult to deal with. But that 15-16 team was probably just as good defensively, if not better. I'd probably say they were better. And when I think about it and I look back on it, they kind of coasted through the regular season. They were to the point, I think they went 55-27 in Kevin Durant's last year. They were to the point to where they really were screwing around in some of those games that year, because I think that they knew that they didn't have to go hard every night in order to get wins. But that team had Serge Ibaka, who could guard anybody. You had Andre Robertson, who could guard 4 positions. You had Kevin Durant, who could guard 4 or 5 positions. You had Westbrook, who could do the same when he was locked in defensively. You had Waiters coming off the bench, who probably played the best basketball of his career that year. You had Enes Kanter, who could come off the bench and get 15, 17 points on a minimal amount of shots if you wanted to go big. Steven Adams had really good athleticism, and he was big for them in the playoffs. They could play any way. And I think that team with that experience and the way that they kind of, frankly, embarrassed Golden State in those first 4 games of the series, I think that team would be a better team even against the team that had Harden, because Harden wasn't Harden yet. He was efficient, but he wasn't the Harden he is now. He wasn't step back 3 Harden. That guy wasn't there yet. So I think the 15-16 team was the best Thunder team that they've ever had. Looking back on it, that was an incredible team, man. They beat the 67-win Spurs in the playoffs. They beat them bad. They had the Warriors, and I tell people to this day, they had the Warriors at the weakest we've ever seen the Warriors at full strength. I know the Raptors just beat the Warriors, but that was the Warriors that were injured and coming off of, a 3 or 4 year run where they were playing 100 games a year. That Warriors team was a 73-win team, and the Thunder were making them look weak, man. It was incredible to watch how good that team was, how many different styles they could play. They could play any style of ball. And that was the only season I got to see Durant consistently night after night. And I tell you, man, that dude's a privilege to watch. Like, he's one of the greatest basketball players we've ever seen. And I told him when he went to Golden State, I remember the first time I saw him after he went to Golden State and I was in Oakland. I told him, like, hey, man, like, I'm not even, like, disappointed with what you did. Like, I understand that people have decisions to make about their life, but, like, I'm disappointed that I don't get to see you play every night anymore, because that shit was fun. It was, like, to watch that dude work, man, it was really fun. And you can say the same about Westbrook too, man. Like, to watch that guy go, him and Kevin together, like, the way that they would just put teams away, it was special, man. So probably 15-16, that's my long-winded answer.